છે ત્યારે આઈપીઓ સિઝન ફૂલ ચાલી રહી છે અને એમાં એડિશન થઈ રહ્યું છે ડેટા પેટર્ન્સનો, જેનો આઈપીઓ 14મી ડિસેમ્બરથી શરૂ થઈ રહ્યો છે. અને આના પર વધુ ચર્ચા કરવા આપણી સાથે જોડાયા છે ડેટા પેટર્ન્સ इंडिया चेयरमैन और मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर श्रीनिवास गोपालन रंगराजन. सर, बहुत स्वागत है आपका सीएनबीसी बाजार में. तो पहले तो बताएं कि ये जो फंड्स आप इकट्ठा करेंगे आईपीओ से, फंड्स यूज़ कैसे करेंगे?
Yeah, the fresh issue is about 300 crores, out of which we're planning to pay back our working capital, present working capital about 60 crores, plus the next 2 years working capital about 95 crores. We're already embarking on a capex to address the existing contracts we have, and as well as the new contracts expected. We're doubling our production capacity, also creating a hangar space for future large system integration bay. That we're spending about 80 odd crores. Out of this 300 crores, we expect to spend about 60 crores on that. The rest is towards the general corporate expenses.
The next thing what we would like to understand is the business model, and if you can just give us the breakup of segmental breakup and the applications of format.
Rather than the segments of where the application use, I would say what are the market segments in terms of products. That will be more meaningful because the segments varies from year to year depending on which program there's an upgrade or a new program happens. So whereas the overall business ratios will remain similar to what we're doing today. If you look at the contracts on hand, we have about 600 crores contracts on hand, and many times that expected as pipeline. But in the contracts on hand, about 55% of the contracts is in radars, and about 20-25% is in electronic warfare. The rest is in automatic test equipment, communication, fire control system for BrahMos, etc., etc. So a large part is in two areas of segments of radars and electronic warfare.
Yeah, we would like to understand the market size also. So what is it, government versus private market size? And plus, for next 2 years, what is your order book? How does it look like?
Okay, see, last 70 odd years, India was importing more than 80% of its requirement directly from foreign OEMs and also through transfer of technology to defense PSU. The value add in India was very, very, very small. 15-20% was the value add done in India. Essentially, we were import-centric economy as a defense. The good thing now is with government mandates, in Indian defense MOD tenders today, which were not earlier addressable by industries like us, is today only Indian industry can address these tenders. Foreign OEMs can directly not address the tenders. So all the opportunity which is every year buying, or 1 lakh crore or whatever you're talking, is now addressed by Indian vendors. This is the large opportunity. Second is, they also added saying that 40-60% has to be value added in India. So suddenly there is an opportunity for 50,000, 60,000 crores can be addressed or value added in India. And in that, if you look at electronics, is 30-40% of all of equipment is electronics. The size of business is very, very large. So scalability and growth is very large. But then we need to have products to scale. If you're without the products, you're not going to address the market segment. So the challenge is actually to build the products either in collaboration with foreigners or do it yourself. Our model is slightly different. We want to do a whole lot of equipment in-house with in-house IP. So we are excited about the opportunities coming ahead. That's the first part of the question. The second is, where do we see ourselves go in the next 2 years and how we scale it won't happen? While the opportunity exists, it's not that immediately we have products to address the opportunities. We are actually relying not on that in the initial years. That is a medium and long-term game plan to address the large markets as we go along. We already have a 254 crore order addressing the MOD tender as part of the 600 crore order book. So we started the game. But more importantly, where we're going to get is, we've done an enormous amount of development in terms of EW, in radars, and subsystem communication with DRDO. And these are all mature stages of production. Some of the contracts have already been executed, approved by MOD, and repeat orders are expected from Bharat Electronics and HAL, etc. organization. Back to back, we will get the orders. So we have a 600 crore order book, and many times that as the deemed pipeline, which is expected in the next 2 to 3 years. So on the medium term, we are actually expecting on those contracts kick in to give the scalability which we've already achieved to an extent, continue to grow the business year on year, and then look at the enormous opportunity which is created by Government of India. Address those opportunities either through DRDO or independently or with the foreign OEMs to see that we address the long opportunity to scale that business as a defense equipment supplier and not as a component manufacturer or a subsystem manufacturer. We want to take on the prime bid and be an equipment supplier like any other foreign OEM. That is the aim, that is the dream, and that is where we're going.
Okay, so if we would like to understand the export opportunity of your equipment product, how would you explain it? And are you planning to expand in other geographical markets as well?
We're already doing a bit of exports. We're doing about 12% of our business, 10 to 12% of last year business was in export. We exported 2 countries, one to UK and one to South Korea. Again, these are our products we're exporting, our IP, joint IP. We exported a product for flight-worthy avionics for a radar, for a modern radar to UK, and that is going all around the world. They're quite happy with the products. They made 3 different versions of that. This month we're supplying the 100th system, and they're very happy. Now they're going to give us 200 systems order, which will deliver over 3 years. So I think we will double that order book and the delivery in the next quarter. We will do that the next 3 years. But going ahead, we're not only looking at this kind of opportunity, we're also thinking post-IPO, maybe we should, since we have built an enormous competency model in design of all of electronics, including RF microwave, as well as software end-to-end, we're looking at whether we can duplicate ourselves and create another area where we can start looking at system exports in a services model and exports, rather than being a product model alone. So that is the kind of scaling we're looking at going ahead. The third kind of scaling which you're looking at is look at defense satellite and satellite systems and see whether we can push the envelope in India and outside India to build whole satellites, a part of a satellite in India. So that is the kind of markets strategy we're looking at, to scale out of only defense, but look at non-defense applications there also.